And that simply means that if you want to change your life, you have to change your choices. And in order to change your choices, you have to change your environment. You have to change who you hang around. You have to change who you listen to. You have to change the influences inside your head. We eventually become like the 5 people we spend the most time with. Now, some of you are trembling right now by just thinking that thought. Because oftentimes the people that we're spending time with aren't the people that we love. They're the people that we're assigned to work with, or the people at our jobs, or whatever. But we are in charge of the choices that we make. You know, if you woke up this morning and you didn't like your life, look in the mirror. All right? Don't blame your husband or your wife or spouse for your life. You married them. Right? If you woke up this morning and you didn't love your life, don't blame your children. Children aren't born to fulfill you. I know that hurt a little bit, but there's a whole lot of people that somehow think their fulfillment and their joy is going to be given to them by children. That's a heavy burden for a child. If you woke up this morning and you weren't excited about your life, don't blame your boss. You choose to go there. And of all times in American history, you could have $50 million right now. I don't know if you know this or not, but people are hiring. In case you've missed the 5 million signs that are in every store in the world. And so if we want to change our life, we have to change our choices. And this bag is a choice. This bag is $130. That's all I'll say, $130.
$130.
Now, Mary Kay's got this $30 option. I'm going to tell you you don't want it. Okay, it gives you a little website that lets you take credit cards, but I am interested in changing your life. That's not going to change your life. What's going to change your life is what's in this bag. Because what's in this bag is going to put you in front of people. And when you're in front of people, when you're touching people, when you're helping people feel beautiful about themselves, you have the potential to change people's lives. And so tonight I'm going to talk to you about this $130 bag. And for the guests that are in the room, where's my guest? I was, okay, right here, guest, if you're a guest, not a Mary Kay consultant? Okay, very good. In a few minutes, you're going to have an opportunity to ask me questions. And every time you ask me a question about the Mary Kay opportunity, you get an extra ticket for $50. Let's all say $50.
$50.
I don't know if you know this or not, but nobody's too cashed up these days. That will not fill your gas tank. I don't know if you're aware of this or not. That will not fill your gas tank. But nobody's too cashed up. And so how many chances do the guests have right now for that $50? Yeah, that's one sorry chance. You have one sorry chance. Okay, now in just a few minutes, you're going to have an opportunity to ask me questions about the Mary Kay business, about what comes in this bag, how you're trained, how you earn cards, how you earn trips, what's expected of you, what the training's like, whatever you want to know. And every time that you ask me a question, you're going to get another chance. Go woo-woo. Woo! Right. And if tonight you decide, I want that $130 bag, we take MasterCard, Visa, Discover, Firstborn Children, and all of it. And you will get not one extra ticket, but you will get 10 extra tickets. Go woo-woo. Woo! Now, if you don't ask questions and you don't become a Mary Kay consultant, how many chances do you have? One sorry chance.
One sorry chance.
Now, it even gets better after this, you guys, because not only do you as a guest win $50, and your chances are pretty good. We've only got like 7 guests, so your chances right now are 1 out of 7. That's pretty daggone good. But here's the deal. If you as a guest win $50, the girl who brought you wins $50 too. And you thought she brought you because she liked you. Yeah, okay. Now, she has a lot riding on you asking questions. So you might really want to think this through. She has a lot riding on you deciding to become a Mary Kay consultant. And let me explain this to you. Buying the kit will not change your life. Buying the kit doesn't change your life. But it does give you an opportunity to change your environment. You have become the 5 people with whom you spend the most time. I have spent 40 years in this environment. Why am I happy? I've spent 40 years in this environment. Why am I positive? I spent 40 years with positive people. Why do I have money? I spent 40 years role modeling people who made money. If you hang out with poor people, you're poor. If you hang out with people who are just getting by, there's a mindset to that. And in order to change your mindset, in order to change the end result, you have to change the thought. So in order to change your life, you have to change your thoughts. In order to change your thoughts, you have to change your environment. You have to change the people you hang with, and that's why you go home with a kid tonight. I have no idea if you will ever sell one thing, because I don't understand your work ethic. I don't know your work ethic. I do not know your ability to be coachable and teachable and trainable. But here's what I can promise you. I can't promise you money. I can't promise you prestige. I can't promise you you'll come up here and get a sash. But I can promise you on a stack of Bibles. And for a girl who grew up Southern Baptist, it's a big deal. I can promise you on a stack of Bibles that if you buy the kit tonight and you show up for the next 12 months at every Mary Kay program, 12 months from now, you will stand taller. Mm-hmm. You will look people in the eye. Mm-hmm. You will have more confidence. And you will have more self-esteem. Those are two completely different things. Confidence is the ability to do something. Self-esteem is how you value yourself, what you think of yourself. And I know this about life, that if you want to make more money, you have to have more confidence and more self-esteem. And I also know if you want to make your dreams come true, you have to have more confidence and self-esteem, and you have to have a tool to get you from point A to point B. See, I grew up with an enormous work ethic. I grew up on a dairy farm. We milked Holstein cattle. For those of you who are bovine challenged, those are black and white cows that are out there in the field. And for 18 years, I did not know that humans could miss work because I never saw it. It was not role modeled for me. My family milked cows at 6 and 6 every day. If they had the flu, if they had had COVID, they'd have still been in the barn because they had to. When people died, we buried them in the middle of the day. Why? Because we had to. Because at 6 and 6, cows have to be milked at exactly the same time. Now, you may not have been gifted with that, but that's a learned skill. That was a role model skill. If you hang out with people who have a strong work ethic, you will have a strong work ethic. If you hang out with people who have good money management skills, you'll have good money management skills. It's all learned behavior. I am where I am by the choices I've made, or I've allowed others to make for me. So everything is about looking in the mirror and accepting that responsibility. And so that background, whether I didn't know it at the time, was preparing me for Mary Kay Cosmetics. Well, I have 3 younger brothers. You met them on the screen. They are a lot like Larry the Cable Guy. You know Larry the Cable Guy? Christmas, believe it or not, my parents are still alive. My dad just had his 90th birthday, got run over by his own pickup truck last year. Long story, ran over his legs, didn't break them.
Wow.
Didn't break them. My mom is 88. She still is one of the secretaries for my Mary Kay unit. She still sings happy birthday to 450 people on their birthday and has for 35 years. And they were both at the hospital today getting infusion for COVID. So now they've got COVID. I assured them they would be fine. They've had every shot and booster and thing that you can get, and they're just tough people. They're just tough, and I'm blessed. I'm blessed, and I know I'm blessed. And so Christmas at my mom and dad's house is who can talk the loudest and who's got the best pickup truck, because that's who they are. All right? And so my background in that and 4-H gave me a work ethic, and 4-H taught me to win. And here's what I know about us in this room. You wouldn't be in this room if you didn't like to win. Mm-hmm. Because we attract people who like to win. We attract people who believe that they are capable of doing something pretty amazing with their life. Maybe they did it in high school, and grade school, and middle school, or sports, or clubs at school. But we draw people, men and women, who want to win. But I've got a newsflash for you. The world is full of people who have a strong work ethic that can't pay their bills. The world is full of people who like to win and have a winning, gritty spirit, but can't pay bills. See, those two things alone will not create financial success. And I know the world at some point, I'm surely they're not still saying this, well, money doesn't buy happiness. No, money doesn't buy happiness. What money buys is choice. Okay? If you had money during COVID, your kids were in a school. If you have money when you get old, you are in one of them like assisted living where it's like a cruise ship and they give you a schedule every day and they bring in all these activities and like if you've ever been to one, you're like, when can I sign up for this? If you have money, you have that. If not, you're in a crappy nursing home. Money buys choices. And we're living in a time right now of great uncertainty. I'm sure that's not a news flash to anybody. And of all times in your life when you need another stream of income, be wise, be smart, have multiple streams of income. This is an incredible stream of income. Because in the Great Depression, people still bought three things. Do I think we're heading for a Great Depression? What we're doing right now ain't too fun. I did see something on Twitter today that there are several places in the nation, gas is $7 now. All right? So we can't continue at this pace. So instead of being scared, pulling the sheets over your head, thinking the world is ending, you know that old saying, when going is tough, the tough gets going? Well, we need to pick up our kit and we need to go to work, because in the Great Depression, people bought three things in the Great Depression. They didn't stop buying it. Alcohol makes you feel good. Cigarettes makes you feel good. And cosmetics. Nobody stops wearing lipstick because there's a recession. Nobody stops washing their face because there is a recession. Now, will everybody be able to afford the same amount as they have been affording, say, for the past few years? No, but we have the perfect plan. In fact, I was telling Katie, my daughter, who inherited my unit, I said, we're going to have one message for this unit next year, and that is to teach every consultant to say these words. Would you like to get that product for free, or would you like to get it at a discount? Because we've got a discount hostess program for you. Because that's going to be the most important words that a consultant learns to say in the next 12 months. Is how would you like to pay for that? Would you like to get it for free or get it at a discount? And so tonight, for the consultants who already own this kit, it is time to get serious. To quit making excuses. To quit thinking that I'll get around to it. I'll get serious about this. I'll discipline myself. This is just discipline. Mary Kay gave you the discipline, the 6 most important things to do list, the weekly plan sheet. You're your own boss, so how good of a boss are you? Putting aside other things and making sure that you focus on your Mary Kay business. How many hours a week do you spend in training? How many hours a week are you listening to Mary Kay training, whether inspirational or detailed training? This is a skills-based business. This is not just get lucky and God will bless you. This is not how this works. God can't bless something that you don't put effort into. And so tonight is a night to recommit yourself, not only to your business, but to the thousands and tens of thousands of women around this nation tonight who are not in a happy room tonight. They're looking at their bills thinking, what in the heck are we going to do when the rent keeps going up, the interest rate on the mortgage keeps going up? We can't even buy certain things right now. What is my family going to do? They're not in a happy room with a group of people who are planning it, but they have you in their life. I've had people tell me that they wanted to be a national sales director because they wanted to be a powerful, positive role model and influence for women in a mission field of hungry people in America. I've got a newsflash for you. You all are more influential than I am. Because every day you have an opportunity to be at a woman's kitchen table. Every day you have an opportunity to be in an office building with a group of women in their break room. And when you gather with a group of women and you begin to teach them about skincare, you have a chance to minister to them, to lift them, to encourage them, to say positive words into their life, and to make a positive difference. You are Mary Kay Ash every time that you do that. And you are in front of more people than I am, than most national sales directors. Never underestimate that. And so anyway, so how much is this kit? $130. And how do you pay for that? MasterCard, Visa, Discover, Firstborn Children. That's how you pay for that. Okay? And so how many chances do you get tonight if you go home with the kit? 10. How many chances do you have right now? One
sorry chance.
Okay. All right. So before I open it up for questions, I'll give you a quick rundown. You got my background, went away to college, was the first person in my family to get a college education, Eastern Kentucky University, majored in home ec because I could do a good 4-H demonstration, thought I liked home ec. Met my first of 2 ex-husbands. Some people collect figurines. Okay. Just a joke. I'm Southern Baptist. I know it's a sin. Okay. So anyway, he took me to Southern Indiana, and we were together for a nanosecond. If you were born after the 80s, that's Mork and Mindy. It's a saying. It means for a very brief period of time. And so I was teaching in a small rural high school, middle school. In 1982, I was divorced at the time, and here's who I was, the same person I am today. I had 3 jobs. Okay, when you're looking for people that you want on your team in Mary Kay, look for the chick that's got 3 jobs, because she's telling you who she is. People tell you who they be by their actions. And so anyway, I was waiting tables at night for extra money. I was teaching during the day, and I sponsored every club they would let me sponsor at school. Here's why. Because I didn't want to be poor. I had grown up poor. Poor only looks good in the movies. There's nothing fun about being poor. Because when you are poor, you don't have choices. And so anyway, I had a conversation one day that changed my life. A turning point, you see, is a day when you think a different thought. Sometimes the thought's given to you by other people. It was my prayer before we started tonight that a different thought tonight would spur a different action in everyone's heart. I can't control the thought, nor I cannot control the action. I can only ask God to direct the words to the person who needs the thought and the action. But what that conversation was a new thought. My principal came to me one day. He said, we need a younger teacher to teach our middle school girls who are starting to experiment with makeup how to do skincare and makeup. And I looked at him and I said, dude, I cannot even get this stuff on my own face. I certainly can't teach it to other people. I lost the argument. So when a teacher doesn't know her subject matter, what she ends up doing, or he, they get a guest speaker. So I opened the yellow pages to find a guest speaker. For those of you in the room under 35, the yellow pages is Google. Google with paper. That is what that is. And in the yellow pages that day was a name familiar to everybody in this room. Her name was Lucinda Utley. Annette Pace recruited. Where's Annette sitting? Annette had recruited her best friend in high school, Lucinda Utley, who lived in Southern Indiana where I lived, and her name was in the yellow pages. And I made a call. Again, one simple action. I made a call. It changed my life. For the guests who are here tonight, someone made a call. They sent you a text. Maybe they sent you a private Facebook message. It has the potential. Everything has the potential to change people's lives. How many people did you personally invite tonight? How many people did you reach out today out of pure love and concern for that person to say to them, hey, I would love for you to be with me tonight. It's a positive program. I work in a positive company, and right now the world needs a lot more positive. But anyway, so she came to my classroom, and she, I don't really remember much about her presentation, other than she said these words to me. She said, have you ever thought about doing something like Mary Kay? A new thought. A new thought. All you have to do, guys, your only job in Mary Kay is to give people new thoughts. Have you ever thought about doing Mary Kay? No? Okay, now they have a thought. Okay? And thoughts grow. Okay? Thoughts grow. And so she said, do you like to read? And I said, yes. And she gave me the book that comes, I don't see a picture of it, but it comes in your bag. How much is this bag?
$130.
And how do you pay for it?
Visa, MasterCard, Discover, First Board Shop.
Okay, all right. So she gave me Mary Kay's autobiography. I didn't join Mary Kay because I liked the product. I've never tried the product. I didn't join Mary Kay because I thought I could make money, because none of that made sense to me. I didn't join Mary Kay because I fell in love with the product. I fell in love with the woman in the book. I read the book. Here, what the best recruiting tool you guys have is Mary Kay's autobiography. It should constantly be in your customer's hands, on list. And in this book is this woman who did not think like the teachers in my teacher's lounge. Nothing against them. They're good Christian people. I'm sure they're all going to die and go to heaven, but I'm not so sure that I want to spend time with them on earth. And so anyway, because they're talking about the same thing they've been talking about in that teacher's lounge for the past 15 years. Do you know these people? Do you know these people that before you get to them, they're going to talk about the same thing they've been talking about for 15 years? They're so stuck in their life. And so in this book was a woman who talked about dreams. I have a lot of complaints and have had for decades about the leadership of our nation. So I'm going to attack every president right now. Because I'm a leader and I understand leadership. Right now, what our country needs is a leader who can say words that actually bring humans together. That fight. I've watched them all. I've watched them all. And they don't choose words that we have in common. You have to find commonality to bring humans together. Tonight, I am bringing humans together because I'm talking about things that all humans feel. I don't care your politics, I don't care your background, I don't care your education, your ethnicity, I don't care about none of that stuff. I care about your dreams. I care about what God has planted in your soul. I care about why you were born. I care about things that every human thinks about. And if we talk on that, we get that. But when we talk about our differences, we get our differences. And so, anyway, I don't know where I went off on that. That was a little Southern Baptist. I think. But anyway, back to what I was talking about, which was the book. So here was a woman talking about God could come first in my life and that my family could come second. And my career could come third. Nobody in my teacher's lounge talked like that. And then she said that, that everybody wore a sign around their neck that says, make me feel important. That made perfect sense to me. And she said that everything was about, I could have unlimited income. All I had to do, there was no glass ceiling. There was no one holding me back. There was no committee. There was no principal. There was no boss. I was the boss. And whatever I could think, whatever I could dream, I could make it happen. Tomorrow morning, if I were you tonight, I wouldn't even sleep. I wouldn't even sleep. I would be so excited about my life. I would get my notepad out. And every idea that came to me tonight, I would write it down. What could I do with this person? What could I do with this person? Your job is to take people to a higher level of thinking. The end result is not a pink Cadillac. The end result is not a seminar stage. That's not the end result. God will use you and your positivity and your energy, and you will give that to other humans so that they can make better decisions for their life. Sometimes they'll do that through the tool of Mary Kay. This is not the end result. This is a tool that takes you to dreams, because dreams are attached to money. And you may be in Mary Kay for a year, for 10, for 20. It doesn't matter. What you're working for is not the sash. You're working for a dream. You're working for a different life. You're working for something different. That's what I read in the book. And so when she called me and she said, what'd you think of the book? I said, I love the book. And because I liked her and I loved the book, she said the next logical thing. This was so uncomplicated. We've made this so hard. She said, would you like to meet some of the other girls in Mary Kay? Of course. Yeah, I'd like to meet the other girls in Mary Kay. I hadn't even used the product yet, but I had fallen in love with the woman in the book. And that's when I came to a meeting with 4 people, and Lucinda and myself. They were winning pens. They was winning these little pens. I thought, this looks just like 4-H. I don't know nothing about my mascara, but I know how to show my cows at the county fair. I know how to win. And then they started winning ribbons. I vote we start giving ribbons again, directors. I vote that we start giving people something. We got to get out of virtual and back into reality. I'm not saying that you can't do virtual business. I mean, you'd be stupid for not thinking you can't do virtual business. But guys, people are hungry for you to touch them. Okay? And so anyway, and so when I saw the ribbons, I thought, oh my gosh, this is like Miss Kentucky Dairy Princess. They brought out the tiara, and I was like, whoa, okay. And here's how she recruited me. This is long before the internet. She slid a piece of paper in front of me, and she said, did you have a good time? I said, yeah, this was great. She goes, it'll be $75. Just fill this out. And what do you think I did?
Filled it up.
And now, what she didn't know is I didn't have $75. But I live below the Mason-Dixon line. Now, you're right above it. But no, you're below it. We're below it right now. Okay, below the Mason-Dixon line, you do not tell a woman who is not your family that you don't have no money. Because you'd be insulting your family name. You just write the check and hope she don't cash it before you find the money to put in the bank. Do I have an amen? Amen. Okay, now today is not as easy as it used to be to like write a check and know you had a few days. So you might have to say, you know, that'll go through the bank a lot easier if you give me a couple days. Okay? How much is this bag?
$130.
All right, so where are you going to find the $130? Okay. I come from Appalachian children, so let's have a lesson in how you find money. No woman should have a woman card that can't find $130. Your woman card should be removed from your body. First of all, you have a room in your house you have a love-hate relationship with. It's called your closet. In the back of that closet are things you lovingly refer to as your skinny clothes. You are convinced, baby, that you're going to wear them again one day because you look so cute in them. I vote you get rid of the guilt and just put that stuff on Facebook Market or like at the low school assignment store. Do I have an amen on that?
Yep.
Okay, that's the first 130. Okay, now in southeastern Kentucky, you will, if you drive through Appalachia, you'll see strange things on people's porches. Washing machines, Barca loungers, strange stuff. They're selling it. So you got stuff in your house you don't like. Somebody gave it to you and you kept it and you really don't like it. Just shove it to your front porch. Okay? Now you've got Facebook Market. You can sell a lot easier today on Facebook Market. So there's another one. And then if that doesn't work, all you have to do is find 13 friends who's got $10. You ask them to borrow $10. They'll forget they loaned you $10. Nobody knows they loaned you $10. And now you've got $130 and you don't have to do anything. Do you like me?
Oh, yes.
Do you trust me?
Yes.
Because I'm about to slap you. Because I need for you to hear my heart. If you're talking to a woman about Mary Kay, and she really, truly, she cannot figure out how to find. Now, there's a $30 kit. Did I tell you you wanted that? No. But if that's your last resort, we'll take it. But if she really can't figure out how to come up with $130, then the most important skill you have in this company is problem solving. And that's your first problem. And if that is her situation now, that doesn't mean it might be her situation for the rest of her life. There's a different part of our marketing plan that Laura talked to you about tonight. And it was called the Hostess Program, which allows people to get product for free, because that's the most important thing you're going to say to people in the next 12 months is we've got a program that allows you to get the product for free or at a discount. Then that's the position for her. Beauty consultant with Mary Kay is not the position for her right now. There's a different season in that woman's life, and you could be a positive force by showing her how to be a hostess, how to sell, how to take up orders, and then there'll be a different season in her life where she can figure out how to get $130. Does that make sense to you? Okay, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Get your questions ready, and for the guests in the room, if you don't have a question, you might want to look at your consultant, because I bet she's got one you can ask. Okay? Just real quickly, I joined April 22nd. I used the next 6 weeks to study, to practice. I encourage you to be a good student. We have incredible training right now online. We have wonderful lessons online. I encourage you to stand in front of a mirror. I encourage you to practice what you're going to say. This is a skills-based business. It's not complicated. You can do it virtually. You can do it face-to-face. If it terrifies you to think about standing in front of one person, sit down. Do the facial sitting down and put your mama across from the table from you. My boyfriend at the time was my first facial, and he asked such stupid questions, I quit the facial midway through. And I just said, ain't no woman or is going to ask them questions, so we're done right here. And so I started my business in June. When I wasn't teaching, I was only waiting tables every day, and I worked at having 1 or 2 parties every single week. And by that fall, I was making enough money that I could quit waiting tables. And then it took me about 2 or 3 other more years, and I was actually driving a pink Cadillac to school every day on my part-time Mary Kay job. Now everybody's story is a little bit different. But people ask me, why do you think you did so well in Mary Kay? And some people don't. And the answer is simple. I was hungrier than you. The hungriest lions run the fastest. You gotta be hungry. I wasn't physically hungry. I was hungry because I knew God had given me gifts. I didn't know what they were, but I could feel them in my soul. And if I continue to teach school for the rest of my life, which is probably right now the most honorable profession on earth, how they're keeping teachers right now, I have no clue. I have no clue. My heart goes out to every teacher in America right now. Literally. But I needed to find a place where I could run. And so, anyway, that's how I got here. Okay, it's your turn now. Now we're going to give every guest in the room a chance to ask